queens walk into the workroom after last week with Alice and Mithra walking in a lot more confident. Katrina rolls her eyes and tells the two to stop being in their delusional fantasy of them making it far just based off of one win.
So it's a new day in the workroom, and well, here goes Katrina acting a mess as if she doesn't look like that already, but whatever, I don't care. I got my win, so now I just have to keep the ball rolling.
The queens gather around the table and Forrest asks how everyone felt after last week's fight in the workroom. Mimi stays silent. Meanwhile, Katrina says she thought it went well. Xinyan laughs and says she was waiting for the pretty girls to go at it.
Despite my bottom placement last week, I thought it went perfectly, haha. The queens started to go at it, and thank God I'm not in the drama. Love watching from the sidelines and getting the tea.
Salazar asks how Lemmy feels only being safe the entire season. Lemmy says it definitely doesn't feel good because he wants to get critique on his drag, but he can feel a challenge he can excel in, like Snatch Game coming soon.
I've been waiting for a certain challenge that rhymes with match game, especially now with how I've been safe the past 3 weeks and the bitch wants a top placement. And also my eye candy in the workroom left the competition, so now I have to be more focused.
Sylvester and Xinyan say that they both wish to have the Snatch Game soon since they both feel like they would do great. Sylvester says he wants a spot back into the top or just to have another win getting laughs from some of the other queens. Xinyan says she just wants a chance to be at the top. Mimi then says she can't wait for the judges to rip Xinyan and Sylvester to shreds based off their looks. Sylvester rolls his eyes and Alice pats his shoulder, whispering to him to ignore her.
Bitch, here we go again. I'm not gonna walk off this time. I'm gonna put that green bitch in her place again.
Sylvester then claps back, saying that Mimi would be ripped to shreds based on the challenge, which is way more important, and the only reason why Mimi cares about the looks is the only thing she can do because she has a lack of talent in her green body. Forrest stifles a laugh and then says Mimi has been complaining about the competition ever since she didn't place in the top in a look-based challenge. Mimi stares at Forrest before saying she isn't impressed with the Nepo baby, who isn't even a good Nepo baby since his nepotism is just a lack of talented queens. Before anyone could say anything, production walks in and alerts the queens for the mini challenge.
Girl, I know you shady producers saved Mimi the embarrassment of me clocking her tea badly, but that's besides the point. Mimi is just a jealous queen with tepid tea. She's so bothered it's embarrassing.
I guess nobody has the balls to say what I said. Forrest and his little drag family aren't really talented, and I don't know why they thought it would be good for him to come here. But whatever, guess there's more filler for the cast.
Alice won the mini challenge.
Honestly, I keep winning. I smoked Venus in that lip sync, haha, sorry sister. I won last week's challenge and I won this week's mini challenge. The only thing that could make this better is another maxi or just the crown.
Hello my queens. Another queen has left and now there's 9 to match, but hopefully one of you could snatch the match because this week we're playing a game.
Girl, are we in Son now?
I think Stella is sick of some of y'all.
If we are lucky, she will start with Mimi.
Bitch.
Hello. Now queens, I'm sure you could put 2 and 2 together because this week we will be playing the Snatch Game. You all know the tea at this point. Choose a character and make me laugh. Now tonight we have extra special guest judge, so to honor her, we want everyone to bring a full concept look to the runway because category is concept queens. Now good luck and don't fuck it up.
Snatch Game? This will be interesting. I don't find it hard to be witty and funny, but some of these girls have big personalities despite having tiny bodies, like that little doo-doo clown mess.
Girl, another comedy challenge? When can we get something to do with dance, haha? Luckily I've prepared to do Snatch Game because girl, it's literally in every season. It's like a deciding factor for how the rest of the season will play out.
The queens all split up into their different workstations. Lemmy, Xinyan and Forrest are all sat together. Forrest asks if the two are excited for the challenge and Xinyan says she's a bit scared of the Snatch Game but she thinks she can turn it out. Lemmy says he knows he's gonna win the challenge, getting a laugh from Forrest and Xinyan.
Girl, they might think I'm joking, but I'm not. Okay, well, maybe a little. I'm not that cocky, but I've been prepping for Snatch Game ever since I got the call. This is my challenge to lose if I'm being honest.
Lemmy asks who Forrest is doing. Forrest pulls out a blonde wig and a pink outfit. Lemmy and Xinyan look at his costume and look confused before Forrest pulls out a mouse ear headband before saying he's a mouse, duh. Eliciting laughter from Lemmy and Xinyan before saying he's gonna be Karen Smith from Mean Girls.
Now the girls from Nor aren't exactly known for doing well on Snatch Game, but fortunately my run isn't gonna match them because I plan to do good this week and I think Karen is a perfect choice for that. I just have to be really stupid. Maybe Mimi or Katrina could give me some pointers.
Forrest then asks who Xinyan is doing. Xinyan says she'll be doing a music legend, Tina Turner. Lemmy asks if Xin Yen knows how to just be loud and upfront since she's been on the quieter side so far. Xin Yen explains that she used to be one of the loudest bitches back in her hometown, but being on a show like Cartoon Drag Race with so many talented queens she feels nervous, but she wants to get out of her shell and show her true self. Forrest says he thinks that Snatch Game could be the perfect chance for Xin Yen to show the true diva she is. The then two hug. A few seconds later Lemmy starts chanting for them to kiss, getting a laugh from the two.
I definitely do find it hard to be myself in this competition, especially because I've been told I'm very annoying, haha. But at this point I can't be the same quiet queen I've been the last few weeks. I gotta be myself and give everyone the Shein fantasy. Wow. I can't believe I just said that. That's so stereotypical.
Xin Yen then turns her head to Lemmy and asks who he's gonna be doing for Snatch Game. Lemmy smirks before getting out a red mohawk wig and spiked necklaces and bracelets, and then grabs a small contraption before popping it into his mouth and then breathes out a small amount of fire, startling Forrest, but Xin Yen on the other hand screaming in excitement at the gag.
Did this bitch just breathe fire? Isn't that a full fire hazard? Oh my god, he's gonna trip the sprinklers during Snatch Game.
Lemmy says he'll be doing his drag father and king of the Koopa Kingdom, Bowser Koopa. Forrest slowly backs away from Lemmy and asks how he's gonna make Bowser funny. Lemmy says he has to live with Bowser in the Koopa Kingdom, so he knows him in and out. He then says he just likes making fun of people, getting a laugh from Xin Yen. Xin Yen says she's very excited to see how Lemmy does.
Bowser is my drag father and adoptive father. Before you're gagged, I'm adopted. I literally have rainbow hair and short as fuck. I'm literally the second oldest of all my siblings. Anyhow, I know this man perfectly, so I'm ready to blaze these bitches, haha.
Alice, Sylvester and Salazzle are all sat together, with both Alice and Sylvester giving Salazzle and each other improv tips. Salazzle then asks who the two will be playing in the Snatch Game. Sylvester smirks and says he'll be right back to go retrieve his Snatch Game character.
Girl, did he just say he's gonna go get his own character? Mama, I don't know what to comment on. Maybe he's just getting the outfit.
Sylvester then returns with a yellow bird hand puppet. Both Alice and Salazzle just stare at Sylvester confused.
Oh, so, there was no outfit. Sylvester, I love you, queen, but what the fuck is that?
Alice then asks if Sylvester has an outfit, and Sylvester says that his character is the hand puppet. Both Alice and Salazzle again look very confused, and Sylvester says he'll be playing Tweety Bird since Tweety played Sylvester on his own Snatch Game.
I have no comments. A hand puppet. Girl, Sylvester, what is this madness? I'm scared for him because how the hell is that gonna work?
I know this might be a bit out of the box, but in all honesty, that's my drag girl. It's campy and unique, and this hand puppet is camp. You can't tell me otherwise.
Sylvester then asks who the other queens will be playing in the Snatch Game. Salazzle says she'll be doing an icon and a legend, Megan Thee Stallion. The two then ask if Salazzle is confident in such a personality like Megan. Salazzle says it's a challenge for her, but she didn't come here to be safe, she wants to win by taking risks. Alice and Sylvester nod, and Sylvester says he likes her confidence.
Not to be a bitch, but like I'm nervous for Sylvester and Salazzle. Salazzle is more closed off than most queens, and Megan is a big personality, and Sylvester, well, I already talked about that because who the hell is gonna gag over a hand puppet? I just hope they can turn it out. I'm not trying to lose friends before Katrina.
Sylvester then asks who Alice is going to be playing. Alice smiles before bringing out a sparkly red dress, a comically large breastplate and a long ginger wig. Salazzle laughs before guessing she's going to do Jessica Rabbit. Alice nods and says that Jessica was a big inspiration when she started doing drag, and that her first time in drag her outfit was inspired by Jessica. Mithra walks over to the trio and asks if she could work with them since she doesn't want any business with Mimi and Katrina. The three all laugh, and Sylvester says imagine having to work with them for 1 week. Both he and Alice make eye contact and giggle. Mithra sits down and Salazzle asks who is Mithra gonna do for the Snatch Game. Mithra says she'll be doing her good Judy and drag sister Pyra.
Now this is probably a risk doing someone I know so well, but Pyra is basically my other half, so this week I really want to show off all rest drag excellence. Not to mention with knowing her so well I have a lot of material to work with, haha.
Mimi and Katrina are sitting near each other. Mimi begrudgingly glares at Katrina and walks up to her and asks who she is playing for the Snatch Game. Katrina eyes Mimi up and down and says she'll be doing Nicki Minaj. Mimi then sits next to Katrina and asks how she thinks she can do funny Nicki Minaj. Katrina rolls her eyes and asks if Mimi is trying to get into her head. Mimi smirks and says maybe.
Oh my god, can this bitch go away? Like, this challenge is annoying enough with how things played out last week of me being robbed of a win. But here comes little Miss Sissy Delma's wannabe trying to talk to me like, please go away, you muddy mug bitch.
Katrina then asks who Mimi will be playing. Mimi says she'll be model icon Gigi Hadid. Katrina stifles a laugh before saying figures a queen like Mimi would want to be a model for Snatch Game. Mimi then raised her eyebrows and asks what Katrina means by that. Katrina stands up and then says she can put 2 and 2 together. She isn't dumb before walking off.
The absolute nerve and audacity of that brick. Like, please don't piss me off. Katrina is gonna get what's coming to her one way or another. I'll be making sure it's at the hands of me.
Mimi will be playing Gigi Hadid, Sheen Yen will be playing Tina Turner, Mithra will be playing Pyra, Salazzle will be playing Megan Thee Stallion, Sylvester will be playing Tweety Bird, Lemmy Koopa will play Bowser Koopa, Forrest will play Karen Smith, Alice Angel will be playing Jessica Rabbit, Katrina Alves will be playing Nicki Minaj. Lemmy Koopa and Alice Angel slayed the challenge.
Oh girls, move over because I ended everyone in that challenge. I wasn't really paying attention to anyone else whenever I had moments to volley with them, but I could tell some queens broke character because of me. I could just hear their non-subtle laughs.
I'm surprised at how well I did this week. I had Stella in stitches. I do think I'm in the running for my second win now, and honestly, I wouldn't mind that. Lemmy definitely slayed, but I need a second win, so sorry sweetie ha.
Katrina Alves and Sheen Yen had a great performance.
Honestly, I think I really shocked everyone this week with how well I did with Mother Tina, haha. Stella laughed at a lot of my jokes and I had good moments with a lot of the other queens. I really hope I can squeak out a top placement.
Salazzle, Forrest and Sylvester had a good performance.
I couldn't help but think the judges weren't really living for my performance. I had a few laughs, but I guess it was awkward to look at a hand puppet. However, there's a part of me that feels a little nervous this week, but even then I think the judges are smart enough to realize I shouldn't bottom.
Well, I don't think I did so bad to where I could be in the bottom, but I do have some nerves. However, there definitely were some more rough performances. It was also really awkward being sandwiched in between them during Snatch Game.
Mimi and Mithra had a bad performance.
To be honest, I don't even know what happened. Somehow all my jokes just didn't seem to land or stick. I felt so out of place the entire challenge. Actually, no, I can't get into my head, girl. I need to just be my usual confident self. I have to slay this runway, and if it comes to it, that lip sync.
I'm just over it at this point. I'm so done. If I bottom, I have half the mind to just stand there and stare at Stella in her watery mug and that brick of a winner while the shitty track plays.
The queens walk back into the workroom after Snatch Game and majority seem very pleased, and Salazzle cheers that Snatch Game is finally over. Sylvester then reminds everyone that the runway is next and everyone has to sell a story. The queens then split up and getting ready for the main stage. Mimi is angrily putting her makeup on while Forrest and Salazzle sit and stare at her.
So we're all getting ready for the runway, and Mimi didn't do good in the Snatch Game. At least for Mithra, I felt bad, but Mimi was just uncomfortable and boring, and right now she looks pissed. I'm not a huge fan of her, and while I actively do not like her, I still want to see if she is okay.
Girl Mimi is sat at the mirror, and if looks could kill everyone on set would be slaughtered, haha. If she starts coming for queens, I'll spit poison at her small and bony ass.
Forrest asks if Mimi is okay and Mimi glares at Forrest. She then stands up and gets in Forrest's face, yelling obviously she's not okay after the Snatch Game, and especially after Forrest feels the need to rub it in her face. Mimi then goes on to say Forrest didn't do good either, so he has no room to talk down to anyone. Forrest then asks Mimi to back up because he won't be afraid to break his contract and slap her on her bad bone structure face, and so maybe her face card could actually look cute. He then says that he wasn't trying to talk down to someone when they're already down, but the only reason why Mimi thinks that is because she's a horrible person. Mimi then says that Forrest is just trying to get more screen time, as if his floppy drag family isn't enough, saying that he's not even a drag queen, just a drag disappointment, and despite the fact he tries to look feminine every moment, he's still the ugliest man she's ever laid eyes on.
Oh, that wasn't cute. Like, even I'm a bitch, but that was not the serve she thought it was.
Forrest shakes his head in sadness before storming off set sobbing loudly. Both Lemmy and Sheen Yen share a look to each other before following him out the set. Mimi then laughs before saying if he can't handle the cold hard truth he shouldn't be doing drag. Salazzle then shouts at Mimi, telling her to shut up because he was not even trying to come for her. Mimi rolls her eyes and says she doesn't care.
So here goes Mimi being a mess, but this time she actually crossed a line, especially to a queen who literally has no beef with anyone, genuinely a sick bitch.
Lemmy and Sheen Yen find Forrest outside crying and the two hug him. Sheen Yen then says that he shouldn't listen to someone like Mimi, and Lemmy says that she's just a jealous bitch who also tanked Snatch Game. Forrest says all he was trying to do was just to check up on her, and then she felt the need to attack him and his family.
There's not a lot of things I don't play about. One of them is my family and the second thing is my looks. I've struggled with how I see myself and also just having fear of being who I truly want to be, but when I figured out about drag and introduced to the ballroom scene by my own father, I realized why the hell should I care. But every few moments there's people like Mimi who just feel the need to say something.
Lemmy hugs Forrest and says that Mimi is up to tea soon to be flame out and he doesn't have to listen to anything that broccoli bitch says. Forrest takes a few deep breaths before Xin Yan asks if they're ready to walk back into the workroom because they have to get to the main stage, getting laughs from the others before they all walk off back to the workroom.
Welcome to the main stage of Cartoon Drag Race Holland. This week I challenge my queens to play in the ever so iconic Snatch Game. Now then, let's meet this week's judges. First up, the Season 1 champion Pave. Does this give you memories of your first Snatch Game?
Unfortunately yes, especially after watching some of these performances. Mess mama, I'm getting flashbacks to pudding.
Oh yeah, you're definitely right. And next, our extra special guest judge, Toon World's Rob Diva Helga Pataki. Now for you, how did it feel playing the Snatch Game?
I mean, did you watch the show? I smoked those bitches in the Snatch Game, haha.
Now then, this week category is Concept Queens. A look that gives a fully realized concept on the runway. So let the judging commence.
Katrina slayed the runway.
I knew a brick like Helga would be on the panel this week, so I decided to paint like one. I'm giving a trailer park mom. I'm wearing a gaudy nightgown. I have a almost empty bottle of red wine, the cheap shit to match the cast, smudged red lipstick and messy mug. Usually I'd never be caught dead wearing this thirsty wig, but it was perfect this week.
Lemmy Koopa, Alice Angel, Forrest, Salazzle, Mimi and Mithra had a great runway.
This week I'm doing something a bit unorthodox. I start the runway in a stunning pink sequin gown with a tiara and sash because bitch I won a pageant. But once I turn around, oh my god, I shit myself, and well, I go full filth by revealing the gown into a bodysuit and smearing the fake shit all over my face. Don't worry, it's chocolate, and for my last gag, I Sasha will wear my wig, but instead of rose petals it's plastic bugs.
This week I'm doing something different. By that I mean I'm going with a more dark route. My look starts off as this elegant floor-length slick gown. I start to highlight my mug as usual, but once I rub my hand over my cheeks, suddenly, my skin falls off, revealing a wonderfully horrible jaw prosthetic that took a bit too long than I wish to admit, haha.
Let me keep this simple and sweet because I feel like everyone had a whole yap session, haha. This week my outfit is giving magician down, but then what's this? Well girl, I'm a full rabbit down to the prosthetic ears. Prosthetic fur all on my body I made. To go along with the magician's rabbit tee, I'm also wearing a Playboy bunny inspired corset. I'm a little promiscuous this week. I know the judges want this carrot, haha.
Xin Yan and Sylvester had a good runway.
This week I'm giving my usual punk rock bitch, but the more I walk down the runway I reveal bits and pieces of my look, like a wig reveal into a blonde wig, and for my final reveal I reveal my what once was a punk rock look fit for a club, is now a beautiful gown fit for a pageant. I think this is different from me because girl, I have a disdain for pageant drag to many mean queens, haha.
So I walk out onto that runway with my long blonde wig, similar Stella mug. Well girls, guess what I am? I am Stella. I have a prop table that's being held by some strong ribbons wrapped around my shoulders. Suddenly a glove that matches Lola's scales appears and spills a drink all over me. Trigger warning: water.
Well queens, this week you all played the Snatch Game and some of you did good and some of you I don't even want to talk about it. Now then, if I call your name, please step forward. Forrest, Katrina Alves and Salazzle, you are all safe and may untuck backstage. Now then, let's start critiques, shall we? Let's start with Xin Yan.
Xin Yan, tonight I really loved your Snatch Game. As someone who did win a Snatch Game, you did great. You looked like Tina, acted like Tina, but the important part was that you were funny. I haven't seen you perform throughout the season, but I think if you keep showing this each time there's a challenge, I could see you go far.
Xin Yan, you had a really good Snatch Game, but there's something missing this week, and that was the look. We've seen you bring out really good runways. Tonight you look cute, however this look just feels very cheap. The look before the reveal was definitely a lot better than the actual gown you have on now. It's almost ill-fitting and looks a little boxy. However, in the snatch game I loved seeing you, so good job this week.
Well, really the only thing the judges didn't live for was the look. But I got really good critiques this week. Aside from that, I feel so happy in this moment.
Let's move on to Sylvester. Now bitch, I'm gonna say this once and never again unless you piss me off. Fuck you. This look is camp and takes me back to a place I wish I hadn't gone back to. This look has a great concept, but other than the concept it does come off a little cheap, since without the cardboard table, which, first off, it's cardboard, it's just in yellow cocktail dress, some fairy wings and a Lola glove. I feel like you can perform well in the challenges, but it's always the runway where we see you falter, just borderlining on cute.
I'll be honest, I had high expectations, especially after being on a season with Tweety, and while I couldn't help but be let down, you had a gag being the hand puppet, and it was funny maybe for like 2 minutes. I was bored, like it was not horrible by any means, but it was bored and tepid. I know you can do better, which is why I'm just not really gagging.
Well shit, honestly I agree with the critiques. I'm disappointed. I didn't give what was needed to be given, however I can't help but think there's some safe queens who should have been her over me, but maybe I'll be messy this week.
Alright, next, Mithra.
Now Mithra, I'm not one for good snatch games if you watched season 1 haha. But watching you in the snatch game I honestly felt bad watching you. I don't think a single joke landed. I saw that you were really trying your hardest, but it was just not really good and just did not go anywhere.
One thing I do enjoy about you this week is the look. The details are there and the look fits you very well, the way you went to extremes just to have prosthetics. The ears, the fur, the mouth, just all of it. I was gagged.
Well shit, Pave just dragged me for my snatch game. But hey, at least I got positive critiques for my look, which I'm very happy for, at least because I had to rush this process.
Alright, next Alice.
Oh Alice, this look was gaggy. I didn't know what to expect, and you first walked out on the runway, then you pulled that out. I guess everyone thought this was the correct week to pull out the prosthetics, haha.
And you in the snatch game, I have no words. I didn't peg you as a queen who can serve comedy, but honestly I'm happy I was wrong, because what you did on that panel was iconic. The way every time I looked back at you your boobs were bigger and your waist was even tinier, it was great. You really did amazing and I'm so happy about it.
Honestly, this week I hit it out of the park. I'm so happy I did it. Something tells me I could see a second win this week, or maybe a second shared win, haha.
Next, Lemmy Koopa.
This runway was fucking disgusting and disgraceful. I loved it. It was filthy and reminds me of something one of my good friends from Toon World would do. I do have one critique, however, this kind of reads as more reveal than concept and feels like more of a gag than a runway look, if anything. If I saw this at a club though, I'd be living, but I still really wish I had thought of this first, haha.
Bitch. I was floored with your snatch game. It takes a lot to do great in snatch game. It takes even more to make girls break character in snatch game. It was so weird yet so funny and made so much sense. Dare I say this was a masterclass in snatch game. When you fucking breathed fire on your wrong answer, I was gagged. It was iconic.
Yeah, I know the judges are gagging. For me it was obvious the moment the challenge started, haha. I fear for the others I'm a shoo-in for the win. The others should just pack it up.
And finally Mimi.
To be completely honest, I wasn't loving the snatch game. It was very awkward and honestly uncomfortable to watch. It seemed like halfway you just checked out and weren't even trying. Like, girl, you at least could have had a good ending, but instead you were just deadpan.
Mimi, there's one thing I can comment on about your drag in this competition, and it's that you don't play around when it comes to the look. I do feel like you fall into the category of queens who didn't serve concept and more of a unique look, but I feel like a great runway doesn't hide from a poor snatch game.
It's Rich of the two bricks on the panel to comment the most on the prettiest bitch here. Who the fuck is Helga again? And Pave, well thank God I'm on this season so I can actually have a good reign as the winner.
Now then, me and the judges have made some decisions. Sheen Yen and Alice Angel, you two both smashed and snatched the snatch game. Good job ladies, you're both safe. Lemmy Koopa, congratulations, you're the winner of this week's challenge.
Finally, the first time I get critique and a bitch wins the challenge. I think these girls should realize I'm the threat of the season, haha.
Well girls, I finally made it out of the bottom, haha, and to be in the top during snatch game of all challenges and doing such an icon, I feel so proud of myself.
Unfortunately, this means Sylvester, Mithra and Mimi. I'm sorry my dears, but you are the bottoms of the week. Sylvester, I wanna light a fire under your ass because we know what you're capable of, but you're safe. You better step it up next week. I do not wanna see mediocrity.
And you know what, that was the exact call out I needed after the past 2 weeks. I've been complacent and fine with being average. Well, no more bitch. Sylvester is here and maybe they won't like it or maybe they will. I don't care.
Mithra and Mimi, I'm sorry my dears, but you are both up for elimination. Tonight I asked you to prepare a lip sync to So What by Pink. Now then, good luck and don't fuck it up.
I'm feeling a lot of emotions at this moment, but I look over at Mimi, and I realize I'm about to assassinate this green devil. She's been a pain in the ass since day one, and this is literally my favorite song. Bye bitch.
I sent home one ugly bitch, I can send home another. I can't leave now, still I have so much more to show. I mean, come on, just look at me.
Mithra had a great lip sync. Mimi had a good lip sync.
I'm not gagged that Mithra is eating Mimi up. Her bunny getup is definitely an attention grabber in this lip sync, haha.
Wow, now that was a lip sync, girls. Mithra Shantae, you stay.
Bitch, get the fucking cameras out of my face. I'm done. I'm fucking done. Fuck this show.
Mimi, we will miss the fashion you brought this season. We hope you walk runways for how long it takes. But now unfortunately I now must ask you to sashay away.
Mimi walks into the workroom after her elimination, packing up. Just as she's about to leave, a producer asks if she's going to leave a lipstick message. Mimi snaps and says she won't be ruining her lipstick on a stupid message, and it doesn't matter if she does or not because they don't even look at it. The queens all enter the Untucked lounge and cheer that Mimi is gone. Mithra says that she's happy she had the job of sending her home. Sylvester then says it makes sense since Mithra did the worst in the challenge, getting a side-eye from Mithra. The queens congratulate Lemmy on his win and he says he had so much fun this week, and then says he fully thought Alice was gonna win and get back-to-back wins. Katrina then cuts in saying despite Lemmy winning he's somehow being delusional. Lemmy stifles a laugh and says he doesn't even have anything to say to someone so bitter over an acting gig. The queens erupt into laughter and Katrina rolls her eyes, staying silent. Once the room dies down, Sylvester then asks if he could be honest. Forrest asks if Sylvester didn't agree with his placement and he immediately says yes. Some of the faces in the room turn to frowns and he says as much as he loves the safe queens, he felt like one of them should have replaced him in the bottom. Salazzle then asks who Sylvester thinks should have replaced him. He then says he wasn't really impressed with Forrest or Salazzle's performance. Salazzle then says Sylvester's runway was majorly worse than hers or Forrest's and that's probably why he was in the bottom. Sylvester then argues that his runway was high concept enough to fit the category and wasn't that bad. Forrest then says that his look wasn't high price, getting laughs from the others. Sylvester rolls his eyes and says that he was just voicing his emotions. Alice hesitates before saying she partially agrees. She says she thinks mostly everyone that isn't Mithra and Mimi did pretty good, getting a laugh from Mithra. Salazzle asks if everyone thinks she should have been low this week, and Sylvester, Katrina, Lemmy and Alice all raise their hands. Sylvester then says it's obvious some are trying to win Miss Congeniality and some are actually being real.